Tennessee versus Ohio State. I'm a Miami Hurricane fan for those of you who don't know. But as a guy that used to write for Cleveland Sports Talk, shout out to Cleveland Sports Talk, wrote for them for 2 years and 6, 8 months. And Ohio State Buckeyes has always been one of those teams that I would root for depending on the matchup. Like if it's against Michigan, I'm definitely going with Ohio State. Sorry, I'm going with Ohio State. And in this one, I'm going with Ohio State as well. Tennessee Volunteers, they are one of these teams that they're basically, when it comes to playoffs, they're the new kid on the block. That's how I could look at it. Ohio State, as we know, they've been on the microscope all season in terms of you have to win. You have to win. So no, Ohio State, they're, in my opinion, they're the number one best defense in the country. That's going to be the ultimate challenge for Tennessee. However, a big however, Tennessee and Ohio State have one thing. They have one thing in common that is a very serious issue: the offensive linemen. Can Ohio State's offensive linemen do their part? Tennessee, can your offensive line find a way to tackle? Offensive tackles have been a problem for Tennessee this year, and the offensive lineman has been a problem for Ohio State. So could we possibly see a game where the quarterback might be pressured a lot of times in this game? We shall see. Can Will Howard have can he have a breakout game? Can he deliver? I felt bad for the kid when I saw his post game conference after losing to Michigan. I felt bad for him. You don't see quarterbacks feel that way very often, but that goes to show that he cares about winning. But one thing I've noticed, the interesting thing about Ohio State is that in years that they lose to Michigan this season, they somehow, some way, find a way to redeem themselves against other teams as the bowl season arrives or when bowl season is here. So, given all of that, and I could say a whole lot more, I feel that Ohio State will come out victorious. My score, I would say 24-13.
I agree with you there. I think this is going to be the lowest scoring game. And actually it is. The over under is 45. I think Tennessee and Ohio State, like you said, Tennessee kind of like the new kid on the block, but you know, when you're just kind of nominated and you're just there, you want to be happy. Tennessee's kind of that team of the ones that got in. Granted, like Clemson kind of just snuck in because they won the ACC championship. Tennessee's like, hey, the entire year we're just kind of been doing our job. You know, we're now here. Now we have something to prove. They have something to prove. In order to do that, it's going to be against Ohio State. They're playing at the Horseshoe. Like I've said, for certain college stadiums, it's difficult to play. And the Tennessee Volunteers going to the Horseshoe could be a bit overwhelming for them. And I think the Ohio State Buckeyes playing at home could work in their favor. They're favored by 7. I think this is going to be a close game, kind of like the Michigan game was. And I agree with you, when you have quarterbacks that are that invested, that are emotional after a loss. I'm always kind of reminded of Dan Campbell's press conference, I think his first year at Detroit. He was very emotional after the loss because he coached up his players. He was really confident that they were going to win. and it just got away from them. And I think that is what Ohio State is looking at too. Because it's the lowest scored, favored game, I'm going to agree with you too. I think this is going to be a low scoring affair like the Michigan game was. I think it's going to be like 25-23. But I'm gonna go real weird on this one. I'm gonna go weird on this one. I'm going with Tennessee on this one. I'm going with Tennessee on this one. Even though I think Ohio State is already looking at a rematch with Oregon, which was their best game of the year, because the winner of this team plays Oregon. I think Ohio State may be looking too far ahead that they're not going to pay attention to their current opponent. And that could be what gets away from them. That's why I'm giving the score, within two, because I think this could be a walk-off field goal, opportunity, kind of like how the Clemson SMU game is. And I think of the four games, that's probably going to happen. This is a prime time game. I think Tennessee and Ohio State are going to come out with everything. You mentioned both teams' O lines. For the love of God, please protect the quarterback, because that could be the deciding factor of any team. If you are not protecting your quarterback to the point where they're not being able to throw away the ball, they're getting pressure to the point they're throwing the ball for interceptions, or the point you're not protecting the quarterback, just in the fact that they need to have enough time to throw the ball. Both quarterbacks are not real runners, but they'll run if they need to in order to get the first down, what have you. I also think both coaches might take the opportunity to be like mad scientists that we've seen in the NFL. If they have a chance to go for it on fourth down to keep a drive going, especially if they have the clock on their side, look for either coach to do that. But like I said, I'm going weird on it. I'm going weird on it. I think Tennessee is going to defeat Ohio State in the horseshoe, but I think both teams are going to come out. I think both teams are going to come out fighting. I think both teams are going to come out fighting because you have the Tennessee Volunteers like, hey, we're here. Granted, we're happy to be here, but you're not going to roll over on us. You have Ohio State. Again, they have something to prove after that loss to Michigan. They're in it, but I think they could be counting their chickens before they hatch, knowing that they have another shot at Oregon. And I think that could be the downfall, if you will. So, like I said, I'm going different here. Going different here. Going Tennessee 25-23, but I think it's going to be a walk-off field goal opportunity for this primetime Saturday game.